We're live. Hi Anne.
Hi Anne.
Right, we'll make a start. Good afternoon everybody. Welcome to the Old Bakery Company and Cake Facebook Live. For those of you that don't know what we're doing, normally the first Wednesday of every month, under normal circumstances, we have an afternoon whereby we have cake and people come along, and if they're on their own or they're sort of, you know, a little bit lonely, they can come along and we have jigsaws and games and just chit chat, and it's a social thing for about an hour on the Wednesday afternoon, just to you know, help with boredom and loneliness really. So obviously with the lockdown we can't do that at the moment. We tried this last month and it seemed to go okay. We had quite a few people watching and we had some good comments from people who watched the video afterwards. So we decided that we'd give it another go. Hi everybody. Oh, this is good. Look, we've already got 6 people viewing. So good afternoon to you all. Mum, Anne says you look sad.
Hey.
You look sad. So thank you for joining us. I hope you've all got your brew. I got my cup of coffee. Mum's got her brew, and I've got some cake. Last time, if you remember, we were a little bit naughty and we had shop bought cake. Hi Jill, thank you for joining us. This time we've actually got homemade cake, proper homemade cake. So we've got homemade fruit cake and homemade ginger jam Madeira. And luckily this time, when Mum made the fruit cake, she didn't leave it in the oven too long. Jan said smile apparently, but you are smiling now, that's good. It does look a little bit like you've got trap wind, but... So thank you for joining us everybody. Good afternoon. Do comment because that's how we know that you're there, and it's the only way we can communicate. So by you typing at the bottom of the video, we can see on the screen what it is you're saying and we can interact that way. So do let us know you're there. Let us know what tea and cake you've got. Obviously that's what it's all about. Obviously we've been in lockdown now for, what is it, 365 weeks, is it? Is that how long it's been? Feels like it. Let us know what new skills. Hi Cheryl, hi Angela. Let us know what new skills you are learning while you've been in lockdown. Me personally, afternoon Jeff. Me personally, a couple of weeks back, I won't say I learnt it, but I attempted to tong and blow dry Mum's hair. Didn't go well. Didn't go well. So that was one of the things I've attempted. I don't think I've tried anything else yet. Have you done any new skills since we've been off?
Not new ones.
No, we've just been
gardening and crocheting and knitting and
revisiting existing skills really.
Yeah.
Like baking
and baking.
Yeah, I've done some cakes. I made bread last week, but I posted that on the Facebook page, so you should have seen that. Gardening, yeah. Photography, but other than that I've not really tried anything else, and I haven't gone anywhere near Mum's hair again since,
because I won't let you.
well no it is all getting a bit desperate now with our hair. It doesn't really matter with my hair because I tie mine up anyway, but the greys are starting to come through a little bit. But you're getting a bit desperate with yours now, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's just like, what products can I put in my hair? It's driving me mad. So let's hope that that they're soon open. Jill's got coffee and walnut cake, and obviously coffee, not tea, because I think she has coffee running through her veins instead of blood anyway. So thank you, Jill. Yes, and we saw on your Facebook that Jan has attempted hairdressing with the dog shears. Really would be quite keen to see how that worked out for you. I would have loved the before and after photo. That would have been cracking. So so that was yeah, that was a new skill there. Anyone else got any new skills they're learning while they're in lockdown? Mum's starting on the cake. It never takes you long, does it?
Well, it's calling to me.
Oh gosh. Jeff said his hair is like a bird's nest. You should pop round and see Jan Baines. She'd get the dog clippers out for you. She's apparently she's a dab hand with it.
I was going to just say the same.
Although obviously with social distancing you can't really do that. So yeah, knock that one on the head. So I think yeah, everyone's getting a bit desperate for the hairdressers to be open again soon. So I think the girls at Hair on the Park in particular are going to be booked up when things are allowed to change again. We don't know anything yet about when we might be allowed to reopen. I did hear something on the radio at lunchtime. They said something about cafes might be allowed to open in the summer if they've got outdoor seating. I don't know whether we're going to have to wait that long or what, but that's not really it's not really very helpful. Jill's put, you know me so well. Yes.
Jill's put what?
You know me so well, because I said she's got coffee running through her veins rather than blood. Yeah, see, we do like to get to know our customers, don't we? It's that personal touch, that personal interaction. Yeah, so what else have we done? Yeah, baking. I made a birthday cake at the weekend for my brother. It was his birthday on Monday, so I made a chocolate cake for that. It wasn't the most elegant looking cake I've ever made, but I miss being in my kitchen with all my space and all my equipment, but he seems quite happy with it. Jill's doing 2 online courses. Ooh, get you. That sounds interesting. Let us know what courses you're doing. I did start doing a course last year for British Sign Language, and I thought while I was off I'd catch up with that, but I haven't done yet. But I should probably crack on with that at some point, because it's quite I'd always wanted to learn it. I knew how to do bits of the alphabet, and it's quite a handy skill to have, and obviously running a business it's quite helpful. Afternoon, Rachel, nice to see you. So yeah, I really need to crack on with my British Sign Language my British Sign Language course. That would be a good thing to do, but I seem to have so many other things to do. Although I have just started watching a box set, which sort of is not that practical. Should be doing practical things. But Jill, let us know what courses you're doing, obviously, if it's, you know, something you can share in public. Just have a little sip of tea because I'm getting a dry mouth. Obviously, what else we've got coming up? We've got some busy week this week, really. Should have been a huge week this week for the 75th anniversary of VE Day. Being part of the British Legion, I would have been massive this week, no doubt. And Friday would have been a day that my uniform would have got a dusting off again. Obviously that's not happening now. Jill's doing criminology and domestic abuse awareness. Wow, get you. That's brilliant, Jill, well done. So yeah, VE Day on Friday. We've been up, I don't know if you've seen it, if you've been up the high street, but we've been up and put the bunting up. We've got flags all around the outside of the awning, flags under the awning. We've got Union flag cocktail sticks in the bottom of the windows, and Union flag baubles hanging in the windows, and then there's a Union flag hanging in the upstairs window as well. So we've really gone to town up at the bakery. Hi Rachel, afternoon. Feel free to, speak.
I thought you'd already said it.
No, that's a different Rachel. There's two Rachels.
Oh, beg your pardon.
There's Rachel, excuse me, cousin Rachel,
Yeah.
and Rachel Foot.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I've got all the bunting up. So I hope everyone else is making an effort with the bunting, because with the social distancing and everything being cancelled, this is the only thing we can really do. The standard bearers from the branch, I know, are doing things in their own gardens, and if you're in the vicinity, don't make a special journey to go there, but if you're in the vicinity of where either of them live, you'll probably be notified, and you can go along and see them do that. I think Anne and Jan will correct me if I'm wrong. 11 o'clock in the morning, they're dipping the standards, and possibly in the afternoon as well. Bunting at the OB looks good. Brilliant. Thank you, Rachel. But I've got a little timeline for what will be happening on Friday. If you're interested, at 11 a.m. there'll be a 2-minute silence. These things will probably be on the BBC and all the things like that, so you can probably follow them on media of some sort. And that's when they'll be dipping the standards in the gardens, the standard bearers. That's Robin Lake, who does it for the branch, and Jan Baines, who does it for the women's section. And then at 3 p.m, the BBC are broadcasting Churchill's speech, and I've just been informed that at 3 p.m, Jan will be dipping her standard as well in the afternoon. 4 p.m, they're encouraging people to have picnics in their garden, so that's when you have tea and cake and stuff like that. And that would be like the equivalent of the street parties that they had 75 years ago. 6 o'clock, you're being encouraged to raise a glass.
Nothing in it, but just raise the glass.
You sit there quietly for 10 minutes and then you come up with that. Thanks for that. And then, nutter. And then at 9 o'clock, there's going to be the Queen's address, and there'll be the rendition of We'll Meet Again. Everybody's being encouraged to join in with. So there's lots of things that you can watch and get involved in on Friday. And obviously, because we can't do it as we would have liked to have done it, people are being encouraged to do it themselves in their streets and with their neighbours and stuff. So hopefully we can get that going. I should definitely be raising a glass, but it will have something in it. I'm not just raising an empty glass. That's a waste of energy doing that. So yeah, so hopefully you'll get involved with that on Friday. And if anybody wants to add anything, do let us know in the comments. Cheryl sent a laughing face. She obviously thinks you're a bit of a nutter as well. So let us know, everybody, what you're up to, what cake you've got. So say, if you've missed anything, let us know what new skills you've learned during the lockdown. And if you've been baking, that seems to be the big thing. A couple of times when I've been shopping, I've tried to get various different things. I tried to get vanilla essence on Monday, couldn't get any of that. What else was it I couldn't get? There's something else I couldn't get when we were shopping, when I was shopping. And it seems to be everybody's baking. There's been a thing on Facebook where everybody's made banana bread. We did make banana loaf about 500 weeks ago.
No, it's just after we...
Oh, that's right, after the last one. So it would have been about 3 weeks ago. We did have banana cake. As I say, I made walnut loaf. You've made a cherry Madeira, but that disappeared within about 2 days. This is the second fruit cake that you've made, although you made this one properly. And then the ginger jam cake. Anne said, we need to watch Bargain Hunt on Friday at 12:15 as there's a Chatteris couple on it. Oh, well, we love Bargain Hunt anyway. We didn't have it on today though, did we, for some reason? But yeah, we normally have Bargain Hunt on, so...
You weren't here.
No, today. Was I not here at 12:15? Oh no, I wasn't back from town. Yes, Jeff. I thought I was getting up for about a year for you, Jeff, because you posted something the other day about being in the Philippines this time last year, and I had a feeling that was when you'd gotten married. So congratulations on your first wedding anniversary. It's probably a bit mixed because I'm guessing, oh, as you say, yeah, your wife is still 6,500 miles away. So yeah, mixed one for you on Friday. But congratulations on that anyway. Hopefully you can get things sorted and she can get over here soon. Oh, I'm intrigued about this Chatterus couple now that's going to be on Bargain Hunt. Is it anyone we know, Anne? Let us know if it's anybody that we might know. Afternoon, Liz. Oh, Niece has got vanilla essence. I was in there this morning.
They hadn't the other day.
Oh, yeah, well, that was the other day. I didn't think to look today when I was in there. I literally went in there to get milk this morning and that was it. Yes. Yes. Is it you two? Are you two going to be on Bargain Hunt? Is that what you're telling me, Anne? Have I put 2 and 2 together and got 7? Oh, I'm intrigued now. Is she just going to leave us hanging now? Have we got to wait till Friday? Gosh.
Already? Oh,
No, Friday.
oh.
All colours. Oh, no, it's not. It's not. But it is somebody that we'll know. I'm intrigued. Right. Well, good afternoon to everybody. If you've only just joined us, thank you for popping in and joining us for our second company and cake. Very close to home. Oh, yeah, just teasing me now. For our company and cake. Hope you're all staying safe and well. I think we're all doing okay. Doing okay, aren't we?
Yeah. Got to be, haven't we?
Well, yeah. Yeah. The weather's been mixed. We had some really hot weather, didn't we? And then the weekend that I got my new lens to do wildlife photography, when I thought I was going to spend hours sitting out in the garden, it started peeing down with rain. So everyone, my friends from the camera club, blamed me that it was my fault that it rained that weekend because I just got my new lens. But it has perked up again now. You've been out in the garden again.
Yes, I've got my sweet peas in. I've still got my runner beans to put in, and I've potted up my 3 butternut squash.
3 butternut squash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I might have a sign outside selling them.
Oh yeah, we could. That might be the only business that we have. The way we're going, if we're not allowed to open until the summer, we'll be selling vegetables from the doorstep. But those of you that watched last time, we'll just quickly. Jeff just commented and said if anyone is interested, there's a programme about Colonel Tom on BBC One this evening. That's previously Captain Tom Moore, who walked the 100 lengths, that's the word I'm looking for, of his garden, and then he was made an honorary colonel for his 100th birthday by the Queen. There's a programme on BBC One this evening. He obviously does have links to this area in that he saved March Concrete Company back in the 80s. So
and Ursula, who was on last time, her husband worked with him.
He did, yes. Jan said she loves her photo. Why did you choose her as a model? I haven't got that many photos stored on my computer. I tend to store them on separate drives, and I wanted a picture that I could just colour select, and I'd got that picture of Jan from obviously one of the EMRs that we did, and it just worked actually. And it was I went through and I'd actually got more pictures of Jan doing the standards at the EMRs than I had of Rob, which was a bit strange because Rob was always there. Jan couldn't do all of them, but I'd got more pictures of Jan, and it was, I just thought it was a great picture and it worked really, really well, and I've had some good feedback from it. And in actual fact, I've done a selection of photos for Wendy, the vicar, because she's doing a video of some sort for VE Day, and she asked me to provide some photos for it. So I went up and took some photos of the war memorial yesterday specifically for it, but then I included some photos that I'd got previously of Jan and of Rob, and I put that one in, and I did one of Rob as well, but it didn't come out quite as well as Jan's one, because Jan had got the standard lay-in so beautifully flat that you could see the Union flag in the corner, that it worked really, really well, whereas Rob, his was all sort of ruffled up. So, but if you'd like a copy of it, I'll print you one off. It was just a photo that I'd got, and it worked, and I'll share it on the Facebook page later on so people can see what we're talking about. But you're welcome. It was a good thing. Afternoon, Peter. Nice of you to join us. Hi, Jodie. We're getting on nearly into double figures now. Look. Just to go back to what I was saying, those of you that was watching last time might remember that somebody that was watching, Ursula, had commented on the crocheted blanket that we'd got thrown on the back of the settee there, and she'd said about how nice it was, and we sort of said, would you like one? Don't know whether she does actually want it or not, but Mum set about later on that afternoon crocheting, and it was brilliant because it gave us something to do, especially when it rained. It gave us something to do, and 3 weeks later, there it is, finished. It's quite a masterpiece. We just spend the rest of the afternoon like this. So yeah, she's done that. So I don't know whether Ursula's going to want it or not, but she'll get first refusal. If not, we'll find something else to do with it, maybe raffle it, or somebody wants to buy it or something. But it is lovely, and it did give Mum something to do for 3 weeks. I want one now, but she said she's got no more wool left. So if anybody wants...
I have.
You told me you hadn't got any more wool. Anne said it looks amazing, well done. Cheryl's put wow. Yeah. When she gets crocheting, she's like a demon. I mean, I can't crochet myself. I can knit, but I can't crochet. Although apparently it's supposed to be easier, but it doesn't make sense to me. But she was just clacking away with this crochet needle. Hook. Sorry, hook. Yeah, and you got it done in, well, all of it done and sewn up and edged in what?
By last weekend.
It was last weekend, so just about 3 weeks, because she started it, Company and Cake, last month. So or can I? If that's can you have one, then we can look into that. You're gonna get a glut of orders. Cheryl.
Oh.
Oh, I just got to get rid of that on the laptop screen there, because oh, yeah, got messages coming in from something else. So yeah, that's what Mum's been doing. So yeah, what else? Are you on your second bit of cake?
It's only a little bit.
That was because I cut that bit for me, so it was a small bit. She's eating my cake. Oh no, she means she can't crochet.
Oh.
Cheryl.
Oh.
It's yeah. Trying to read things off screen is very difficult. You lose track of what's being said and what people mean. But no, it's supposed to be really simple, but Mum makes it look so easy, but I can't do it for Toffee. You did try and teach me once, didn't you?
Yes.
You didn't have to say it like that. I learnt to knit very easily. Mum, when we was in primary school, Mum used to come along to our class to teach knitting. We would have been 6
or 7.
6 or 7. She used to come along to our class to teach us to knit. Those of you that might remember Mrs. Reddington, she was my class teacher, and you used to go along into her class and you'd teach the children to knit, and we used to knit little animals and stuff. I was all right because I could sort of do it. But there was this one kid, we won't mention any names just in case people do know who he is. And you had ages and ages and ages trying to teach him, didn't you? And he couldn't get the hang of it. And you were getting frustrated with him. And it was some time, and I don't know how it come about, whether Mrs. Reddington said in the end or whether...
I don't know
how it come about. But then he admitted to being left-handed. So obviously everything was going to be the other way round for him, which is why he couldn't.
That's like when I was
coordinate
trying to teach Carol how to crochet. She's left-handed, and I could not teach her, and it was 2 hours, and we. Then she said, "Do you realise I'm left-handed?" Forgot.
Yeah, how can you forget your best friend is left-handed?
Well, there you go.
Rachel can remember doing lace at school. Would that have been with Mrs. Reddington? Mrs. Reddington did a lot of lace work, didn't she?
Mm.
Yeah, I liked her. She was a good teacher. She really was a good teacher. It was only in the last few years that she died.
Mm.
In fact, I think Jan's daughter's gone into her house, hasn't she?
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, hi Alison, afternoon. Hope you're keeping well. Hope your mum and dad are okay. Cheryl's left-handed too. Maybe that's why she can't crochet either.
Could be.
It's these people that are everything's the other way around for them. It's
You can teach them by a mirror.
Can you?
Yeah.
You can, or it is possible.
No, it is possible to do it by mirror, because when you look in the mirror, you're opposite. You know, it's a reflection. If you know what I mean.
Yes, yes. I was gonna say I thought Jeanette had moved in there. So, I'm running out of things to say now. I had a little list, but I went through that in about the first 10 minutes. We're okay, thank you. Good to see you both. Yeah, good to see you too. Thank you for joining us. I see you've got your mum and dad involved in Facebook now, which is good. This is a novel for this one as well, doing Facebook Live. Technology and people of a certain age is
Excuse me.
Is interesting. Well, it is. It is, isn't it?
Of a certain age.
Well, I could have said old people, but I didn't. I just said of a certain age.
Right.
Well, you know, I mean, you can. What have you missed? You haven't missed a lot, Jodie. We've been waffling on about what we've been up to, what cakes we've been making. What have I missed? Way up to VE Day. Yeah, I went through the list of what VE Day is going to be locally, and I'll post up the details of what's happening on the Facebook afterwards. Yeah, see, Alison's just got her mum and dad on Facebook. Obviously, probably partly due to the lockdown. And she's just said that she was going to say it's been interesting trying to keep them updated and trained with it. What's certain age? Oh God, I've opened a can of worms now, haven't I? People always say, oh God, I'm not going to dig myself any deeper into this hole, I don't think, because clearly majority of people that are watching are of that certain age, and yes, it's tricky. I remember the time when I was working at the golf club and I'd been watching my telly upstairs before I went to work, and I'd left my remote control laying on my bed, and you and Dad went into a panic that I'd left my mobile phone behind, and I think one of you actually rang the golf club and said, Tina's left her mobile here, and I was like, no, it's in my pocket. And it turned out to be, it was my remote control for my telly.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? No. That's just another indication of
It must have been your dad.
Of how people who are not of the generation where technology comes naturally, shall we say, how they find it challenging.
Could be. Yeah, whatever.
Well, it's taken you a while, but you can use the Skybox now most of the time.
Yeah.
It's taken you a while, but you can text, you can telephone, and you can
Photograph.
take photos on your phone.
Mm.
And if I set my laptop up and give you it, you can sort of move the mouse around to do what you want on one screen.
Mm.
But that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't really do much else. If I just give you my laptop all closed up and was like, there you go, do what you want to do.
I'd wipe everything off you'd got on it.
Probably. Remind me not to do that. Remind me not to do that. You're probably right, Alison. Alison's put, I'm sure it will be us one day. These things come sort of full circle.
Well,
In an actual fact, I did something this morning and I can't remember what it was now. And I said out loud to myself, oh my God, I'm turning into my mother.
and your grandmother.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The apples haven't fallen far from the tree, have they?
No.
I probably, at the minute, I'm probably more like Nan than I am you, or like Nan was.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yes, indecisive.
Quite indecisive. Yeah. But yeah, it will come full circle, and then there will be people. Rachel suggested that you'll soon be on TikTok.
What the hell is that? See, technology.
They was talking about it on the BBC News last night. That TikTok, it's where you have like video little things, and people are doing dances and things on TikTok. They had it on the news. Do you remember watching it?
Well, I shan't be dancing.
Well, not necessarily dancing, but
or singing, because everybody had turned the telly off.
Well, Mark was saying there was somebody that he works with that does these TikToks, and she does comedy sketches. So like she'll mime to like a Catherine Tate sketch. Does all the actions and everything. Anne's put Oakley is 5. He picks up the iPad, knows the passcode number, and goes to Google to watch Tom and Jerry. Yeah, that's it. If you've got something wrong with your technology, you always give it to a small child, and they'll sort it out for you, and they'll fix it. That's the thing. That's the difference. When I was at school, it was. I think we were lucky if we had a computer in our classroom, one computer for like 30 kids. And this was sort of like at King Edward, so junior school. You had one computer in one classroom, and they was those old BBC computers.
We didn't even have calculators. We had abacus.
And then you wonder why I said people of a certain age. and then like nowadays, every kid has got a computer to themselves. That's just the thing. So they grow up with it. It's like if you've got a kid and you're a parent, they'll give their phones to them to for something to do and stuff. Well, it's just a different society now, isn't it? I remember getting a computer when I was about, I don't know, how old would I have been?
God knows.
12, 13 maybe. Mark had already had one, and I got the model that was the one up from his for my birthday. A ZX Spectrum Plus 2. He used to have to put cassette tapes in a cassette player and press the button and do the things, and it would load. And you'd see all these lines going up on the screen while it was loading, and sometimes it would take like 15 minutes for a game to load. And the really annoying thing was you'd sit there for 15 minutes waiting for this game to load, and then they'd fail, and then you'd have to rewind the tape and go back to the beginning and then try it again. Whereas nowadays it's just like press a button on a screen and it's there instant. Anna said about when you used to have chalk and not pens, and Jeff said he had logbooks and slide rules. And Rachel, yeah, I remember when you went into the television room and you'd all sit cross-legged on the floor or whatever. You'd bring it into your classroom. They'd wheel the big television in with a video player and watch. Oh gosh, what did they used to be? Words and Pictures or something they used to show, and something else. Gosh, it's just different time. Different time. Whereas now, they just give kids iPads and laptops to do work at school, and yeah, totally different. I'm just going to get rid of that on that screen because that's annoying me. I just had a message ping through and it was popping up on my screen and I couldn't see all of the text from the from your comments. So yeah, keep commenting. Let us know what else you can remember from your school days then. Stuff that kids, you'd say to them nowadays and they'd go, what? Without being crude, the one thing that I remember was that toilet paper that they had in the toilets that was like tracing paper. It was like baking parchment that I use now at work. It's like slightly waxy and you'd sort of like...
I saw.
You couldn't scrunch it up and it would just slide. Whatever it was just, yeah. I didn't used to use the school toilets very often. I would rather... Because I used to go home at lunchtime. Yeah, Jeff's put Isel as well.
Yeah.
Used to go home at lunchtime, so if I needed a wee, I'd hold on to it if I could, because I hated the school toilets. Absolutely hated them. Yeah, and that because the toilet paper was horrible, really horrible. Oh, so, yeah, see, everyone remembers it. What it was useful for was tracing. So if you wanted to draw a picture, copy a picture from a book, you just went to the toilet and got some of the toilet paper.
Yeah, but there's only one little square. If you wanted to do a big picture, you would miss it.
Well, yeah, it was only that big, but you'd put it over what you wanted to trace and your job's a good one. But yeah, for anything practical.
When I worked at International, there was only one customer that had the ISIL.
Oh.
Yeah. And her name was Miss Barnes. 2 sisters lived together.
Jeff said ISIL was good if you wrapped it around a comb to make music.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So, what else do you remember from
where?
From like school that's different now?
Everything's different.
Well, obviously, yeah, but something like that's like...
God knows.
Well, that's the end of that conversation then.
Can't think.
Oh, bark rubbings, yeah. Yeah, you could do bark rubbings with it.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think I remember doing that. I think there was a tree.
It's got to be a tree to have a bark. Unless you had a dog. Then it was a bark.
You didn't let me finish what I was going to say. I think there was a tree in the school ground around King Edward. There was them ones around the edge, weren't they? That went along the path. And I think I remember going out there and doing bark rubbings. Flying board rubbers. Yeah, I remember that. By the time I was at Cromwell, that was still a thing. I remember at least 2 teachers used to throw the chalkboard rubbers at you.
Mrs. Yates did.
Don't know.
Because she asked me a question one day and I didn't know it, and she chucked the blackboard rubber at me and I ducked and it hit the first of my arm at me, which I was quite pleased about. Well, not that it hit somebody else, but the fact that it didn't hit me. She used to whack it with such force.
Oh dear. Afternoon, Julie. Nice of you to join us. Milk. Oh, I remember milk time.
Oh yeah.
It must have been at Burnsfield. You'd probably remember this, Rachel, because you're only a little tiny bit younger than me. You used to get your little bottle of milk with your straw and a rich tea finger. And that used to be your milk time.
And you used to have a bit of milk monitor and all.
I don't remember that.
Oh yes, to take the milk round to the individuals, but we never got a rich tea biscuit.
Anne remembers rulers on knuckles. Well, you were obviously naughty then, Anne, because I never had a ruler on my knuckle. Did you ever have a ruler on your knuckle?
No, but we had a teacher that used to have a size 11 plimsoll that used to use it on the boys at King Edward.
We had one of them at Cromwell.
Mr. Howarth. Oh, he was a lovely man.
Yeah, he sounds it.
No, he was. He was my favourite. And I did meet him when they had a...
Oh, I remember that. When they did was it 1989, when they did the 50th anniversary of Cromwell?
Yeah.
We went up to Cromwell, didn't we?
No, King Edward.
No, Cromwell.
King Edward.
Oh, well, I'm talking about Cromwell.
No, when they had all those albums out of all the classes, and there was Margaret Fox was dressed as a school marm, and there was old Miss Murphy.
I remember that.
There were old Miss Murphy.
Did I go with you?
Yeah.
When?
And oh, God knows. And
was I about 7?
And Mr. Howarth.
Because if I was about 7, I wouldn't remember.
You were more than that.
I was thinking of the time on that Saturday that it was 1989, the 50th anniversary of Cromwell, and we went up to the Cromwell in the afternoon to go and have a look round, and we went with Carol, and when we came back,
it was
Tom and Dad were sitting here, and it was all on the news. That was when they'd had the Hillsborough football disaster.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about King Edward.
Hi Michelle, nice of you to join us. Julie Spirit, I don't know how I managed it, but I've tuned in. It's lovely to hear you both chatting. You haven't heard the waffle that's been going on for the last, how long have we been going? Oh, hour. We've been going in an hour. You haven't missed much, but if you have, you can always watch it in full afterwards.
She did last time.
That's the beauty of it. Michelle did, but I'm talking about Julie.
Oh, Julie.
Stay with the game.
I can't read that.
Yeah, but I did say.
Oh, all right.
I did say.
All right.
If you have just joined us, welcome. Thank you for popping by. This is our version of Company and Cake. Those of you that might not know, the first Wednesday of every month, under normal circumstances, we have an afternoon whereby people come along. We provide coffee, tea, cake, and company. And if they're on their own, or at a bit of a loss, they can come along and jigsaws, beetle games, dominoes, chatting. That's what we do. Well, because we can't do that at the moment, we're putting ourselves out there, literally making idiots of ourselves for your entertainment and for your company. So all you need to do is just write in the comments, and we'll try and pick up on them, and we can interact that way. So Anne said about 2002 maybe for the thing, the King Edward thing.
May have been.
Oh, it was at King Edward Centre, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that was where King Edward's School
was.
Yeah,
well, I was a bit...
Because if you remember, Alan Melton was there, and we couldn't get a word in edgeways nowhere.
I find that very hard to believe. I vaguely remember going there, but I don't remember an awful lot about it. If it was more than like 10 minutes ago, I've forgotten.
Mr. Hell said he remembered me because I was so quiet. I've made up for it since.
Oh, I don't remember that. I vaguely remember going to it, but I can't remember an awful lot about it.
They'd got all these albums out, and there was all photographs. Oh, there's me. Oh, there's me. There's me. You could hear Alan.
Anne said that would be when the KEC was refurbished, so that would probably be about right, really. Then, wouldn't it? They would have done that then.
Yeah, it was still the old school. But
yeah.
As I say, there was Miss Murphy, and Mr. Howarth were the only teachers that were there.
Yeah. I do vaguely remember it, but because I didn't really go to school there, it didn't probably. Whereas, when was it? 3-4 years ago, we went back to King Edward School that I went to. That's now Kingsfield. We did, and we looked through all the school photos.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mrs. Marsden was there, and she'd got photographs with me in that I'd never seen before. And apparently they're on display in the museum. Do you remember when I'd got that air raid warden's hat on? Do
No.
you remember it?
No.
Oh dear. Yeah. That picture is in an album at the museum. So if anybody wants to, when the museum's open again, go upstairs and they've got all the photographs and everything. And yeah, it's there's photographs of me in Viv Marsden's class. Anne and Jan are going now because they've got weeding and painting to do.
If she runs out of jobs,
yeah,
plenty of
just
weeds.
come a little bit further up Fairway and you can help out with ours. Anyway, thank you both for joining us. It's
Thank
been
you.
nice of you to join us. Yeah, Julie said Anne's right. It would have been the anniversary to celebrate the King Edward Centre.
I said it was.
Yeah, just affirming that.
Mm-hmm.
Jodie thinks you think she's brilliant. She's loving you. That's just a dry cough. I've not got COVID-19. Don't worry.
Because she's talking too much.
That's because you don't. Because if not, we'd just sit here staring at the screen.
No, I've been talking.
You actually have said more than you said last time. But then it's difficult to talk when you keep shoveling cake in, isn't it?
Well, it's company and cake.
Well,
so.
yeah, there is that. Have you got cake, Julie? Or those of you that have just joined us, I don't know who else was late joining us. Let us know what cake you've got. We've got homemade fruit cake, and slightly less now than what we started with. Homemade fruit cake and homemade ginger jam cake. We've also got chocolate cake in the cupboard because that's what I made for Mark, my brother, for his birthday yesterday. But I don't eat a lot of chocolate cake because it's a bit sickly, but he likes it. So this has turned out better than the cake you made last time. Yeah. I don't know if we'd mentioned that, but Mum made cake ready for company and cake last month and she left it in the oven too long. And it was still sort of edible, but it was a bit dry, whereas this one is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, but I could have poured brandy on it.
Well, yeah, there was things we could have done. We could have custard. They suggested custard last time as well, didn't they?
That's true.
Could have had custard on it as well. So if you have joined us, let us know what cake you've got. Let us know if you've learned any new skills during the lockdown. Julie's not got cake. She wasn't prepared. She's eaten loads of cake. Yeah, I think everybody has. Everybody seems to. There seems to be all these memes on Facebook about people having a lot of excess weight once the lockdown's over. I know that the first 2 weeks we were off, I think I literally ate my own body weight in cakes and scones, partly because we'd brought some home from the tea room that we needed to get rid of, didn't we? That was partly it. And partly because I'm just a bit of a fat heifer when it comes to cake, really. Cake and biscuit, it's my Achilles heel. I just can't help it. Although having said that, I've sat next to this cake for an hour and I've not had any yet. Although I'm not a fan of the ginger one.
It's lovely.
I know, I like ginger.
Well, you shouldn't have ate the cherry Madeira so quick.
And I like cake, but I don't know, I sort of like the proper ginger, Jamaican ginger cake.
Yeah.
Lemon cake with lemon ice. I do love lemon cake. We ought to make some lemon cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, lemon cake's one of my favourites. Lemon cake is one of my specialities at the bakery, actually. When I do lemon cake...
Don't tell Michelle.
It always sells out really well.
Don't tell Michelle, because she likes lemon cake.
Yeah, Michelle likes lemon cake. If you are still watching, Michelle, I know you like... Google Maps will have you listed as a roundabout. Yeah, probably will. Probably will. It just I tried to offset it a little bit by going out walking. So like this morning I had to go into town and I walked and I sort of did a bit of a scenic route. I did go I had to pop to Julie's, so I went all the way down to London Road. So I think I did about 3.5 miles this morning. But then when I get back I feel hungry, so I eat more cake. So I'm not sure if it works. Julie's learned how to Zoom and a house party. Oh, cool. I've Zoomed. I have zoomed. I should be zooming later as well because our camera club are doing a committee meeting this evening via Zoom. That'll be our third one, I think, that we've done. We've only ever met by Zoom. We actually haven't managed to have a proper committee meeting in person yet because we were just setting ourselves up when it all kicked off. Hi Terry, thank you for joining us. Hope you're well. Hope Di's well. Rachel hasn't made a cake for a week or so. You might have to do it. Yes. Let us know what sort of cake you're thinking of making. Ingredients seem to be a bit of a tricky thing for people at the moment, don't they? Shopping seems to be everybody's having trouble getting flour. Although we managed to get some, didn't we? And I think the shops have latched onto that now, and it's more sort of the supply chains. They're managing a bit better now to get that. So I might have to make a lemon cake now. Now Jodie said that, I quite fancy doing lemon cake. I'll have to get some lemons. I don't know whether I've still got some in the fridge actually. I might have to do lemon cake. Although I'm supposed to be being good.
I ain't. I'm working mine off in the garden.
Well, I did a bit. I did. Who dug all of the bit where your bean canes are?
Yeah, all right.
Me.
Right, okay.
Jodie's been fancying scones with jam and clotted cream. Oh, just scone and clotted cream. Yeah, everybody's doing afternoon teas on Facebook, and they're encouraging people to have that for Friday for VE Day. So the first 2 weeks we were off, we did have a lot of scones with jam and clotted cream, didn't we? Because we'd got a full tub of clotted cream in the fridge at the shop, and we couldn't let it go to waste. So yeah, we literally had scones with jam and clotted cream every day.
You speak for yourself.
I had scones with jam and clotted cream every day for about 2 weeks. And that was when I realised that my trousers were getting a bit tight. Make one for when you open up again. Oh no, I'm not making it for customers, Terry. I'm making it for myself. Rachel said that she can't believe how much out-of-date stuff she's found in her cupboard since the lockdown. The oldest thing was February 2012. I think we can beat that. We'd found some, it's not the same, it wasn't food stuff, but we found some aspirin. My dad was prescribed aspirin after he had his heart attack, and they were dated, what?
I think they were 12.
Were they 2012? I thought they was earlier than 2012.
But we'd wasted a lot of stuff up the tea room.
Yeah, a lot of our stock at the tea room is going to be dead by the time we're allowed back.
So we're eating a lot of crisps.
Yeah, crisps. We just had about 3 boxes of crisps come in on our last delivery before we were shut down. Oh yeah, because we ordered 3 and we got 1 free, didn't we?
Yeah.
Walker's crisps, salt and vinegar, plain, cheese and onion, and about a week later we were told we'd got shut down. So we're eating like.
Because they run out in May, didn't they?
Yeah, they'd got some of them had got June on them, I think. But we thought, well, you know, they're going to be run out by the time we go back, so we'll just eat them. So we're eating a lot of crisps. Our bottled drinks are going as well. Some of them will be gone by the time we go back. So bottles of Coke, bottles of Fanta,
cans of 7-Up.
7-Up cans. And I haven't even started looking at the like the ingredient stuff that we've got in the cupboard yet. I can't face it. So that's the annoying thing really about the lockdown, is the stock that we're potentially gonna lose. People kept saying, oh, can't you do something with it? Can't you give it away? Can't you? But if you've just got like 1 bag of something and a tin of this, it's not really that practicable. Practicable? Is that a word? Practical. To sort of give away to people or persons. So we're sort of trying to use it ourselves. But
And the insurance company don't want to know.
Yeah, we won't go there though, will we?
No.
The insurance companies never want to know. The whole idea of having insurance is just for some hobnob in some suit in a company somewhere to tell you that you need something so that you pay them, and then they've got your money and they tell you that it's because this might happen, and then they'll cover you for it, when in actual fact they've got no intention of covering you for it at all. Because they always find an excuse. Well, I mean, who would have thought that a global pandemic was not covered in an insurance policy? There we go. But anyway, don't get me started.
All right, I won't.
Don't get me started. Jodie said hers wasn't lemony enough. How much lemon would you use? When I make my lemon cake, I make a pound mixture and I use 3 quite big lemons. Grate the rind in first and squeeze the juice in as well for 3 lemons, and that's for a pound. So a pound of sugar, a pound of margarine, 8 eggs and a pound of flour, and then 3 lemons, and that's what I use. I can't do smaller quantities because I don't make smaller quantities.
Well, you can always halve it anyway.
Oh yeah, you could halve it, but how do you do 1.5 lemons? Well, you could, but
Cut one in half.
yeah, but then you've got half left. I suppose you could just have that in your G&T though. It's not a problem. Just do that. Julie said she's shown Andy your accompanying cake, and he has said Derek and Clive. I don't understand that. Who's Derek and Clive? Is that from Gogglebox? It might be. I don't know. I don't watch Gogglebox. How have I managed 40 years with him? He is rude. It's funny. It's all in good spirit, all in good cheer. So yeah. I run out of things to say now. I can't find my mouse thing. There it is. We're actually coming to the end now. Actually, I've just realised it's 3:25. So we've waffled on for an hour, nearly an hour. An hour. And normally accompanying cake lasts an hour. Which has gone really quickly today. So if anybody wants to add anything in very quickly before we sign off, get it in the comments quickly now.
I've not showed Michelle.
Dudley Moore and Peter Cook did a double act. Ah, right, okay.
I've not showed Michelle.
I don't even know if Michelle's still watching.
Oh.
She watched it back on the video.
Oh, they are Michelle.
For those of you that missed it, Mum crocheted a blanket for somebody after accompanying cake last month, because they saw the one on the back of the settee there, and she just literally whipped that up in 3 weeks. Apparently, Derek and Clive was a Peter Cook and Dudley Moore double act.
Oh right, yeah.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not of a certain age.
No, quite. Here we go again.
Oh gosh. So yeah. Anyway, that we've nearly done our full hour now. So thank you all for joining us this afternoon for our ridiculousness. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was something to kill the time this afternoon. The things we mentioned earlier on, I'll try and put them on the Facebook underneath the video. So the picture that Jan was talking about that I did for her, Jan was the women's section standard bearer, and I did a photo for her that I'd done in Photoshop, but I'll put that on the page so you can see that. And all the details about what's happening on Friday for VE Day with all the times and what's happening when and what. As I say, the standard bearers for the Chaptress branch, the men's section and the women's section will be doing the standards in their gardens. So if you're anywhere in the vicinity of Fairview Gardens, or is it Willie Terrace or Curve Terrace? I can't remember which side of the road is which. But as you're going out of Chaptress, Willie and Curve on the left hand side, Robin lives down there. He'll be doing the branch standard in his garden at 11 AM and at 3 PM. But I'll put all the other details for VE Day on the page so that you can catch up with that.
Yeah, because you've got a raised glass.
And yeah, we've got a razor glass with something in it at 6 o'clock. So thank you, Rachel. It was lovely of you to join us. I hope you enjoyed it. If we're still locked up next month, June, we'll probably be doing it again, but we'll keep you all posted on the page so you know what's happening, whether or not we'll be sitting here waffling away in the afternoon again. Doddington Road, is it? Oh, okay, thank you for that, Jeff. I know where they live, but I couldn't remember what the address was. So yeah, the branch standard will be Doddington Road, near the bus shelter. It's on the way out of Chatteris. Right, you're going to go and do some gardening now, are you?
I've got cottage pie to make.
Oh, you're going to make cottage pie. Now we've got another different answer. Next time, I'm sure to be. Oh, hi Alex, thank you for joining us. Sorry you only got here quite late. Facebook Live is cool. Next time I'm in near Chatteris in the future and not down, I'll be sure to. Yes, please do stop by. And yes, check out Woody, the phone box in Wood Street. He is decorated up in all his Union glory for VE Day as well. So on your daily constitutional, make sure you get yourself around Wood Street to check out Woody, the phone box. There's a lot of people done a lot of good things around the town for VE Day, and also all the rainbows and stuff that's about for the NHS and key workers. There's a lot of people got involved in putting things in their windows, which is really nice to see. We have got a really good community spirit. And on that note, I suppose I should mention the roundabout at Wenny Road. It's not really a roundabout, but it's sort of a one-way system round as you go into Wenny Estate. Chatteris in Bloom have been responsible for orchestrating some how would you class it, artwork designs in the beds there. We can't do much else in the town at the moment, but Sue, our president, who lives down that way, she's organised, and we've got a bed for VE Day done by the British Legion Youth, a bed for the key workers, a bed for I forget all what there is now, but get yourself down to Wenny as well and have a look what they've done down there. That's really, really good, and it just shows the community spirit that we have actually got in town. So well done to everybody for that. I think that's about it now. Have you got anything else to add?
Don't think so.
No. Thank you everybody for joining us this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed it. And we will keep you posted as to whether or not we'll be doing one next month. Whether we'll be back at work or not. In the meantime, hope you all stay safe and well. And look after yourselves. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.